Boys and girls, can you all hear me? Okay, fine. What we're going to do, now the teachers are going to have to bear with me. I'd like to move the boys and girls to within a semicircle of the helicopter. Okay, but don't go until your teachers advise, or you will be whipped unmercifully. Okay, so teachers, when you can, I'll show exactly where I'd like the kids to be, not too terribly close, because once in a while they want to touch things, as you well know, and sometimes a rotor is missing and the tail rotor is missing, so we have to watch it very carefully. So when you can, you begin to move forward at the teacher's command. Stop right where I am right here. This will be the guideline right here. So anybody can form a line right where I am. Don't go beyond me. And you can sit down if you like. Okay? Want to sit down? Okay, you're going to have to bear with me, because one of the problems we have in programs as large as this is controlling the students. So if you could, I would sincerely appreciate the conversations being kept to a whisper, because it's very difficult to work and try to talk with a lot of conversations going on. So do you bear with me, boys and girls? Okay. The program will be to my back, so if you could come over this way, you'll not be able to see in back of the helicopter. You will not be able to see in back of the helicopter, so move over this way. Over here. Now you should have stayed. Teachers over here to my left. Boys and girls, move this way. Move in, that's correct. We have plenty of room right here in front, teacher, over here. We have plenty of room. No one's over here, so if you want to, if you feel, so, yeah, right over here is perfect. No, just right back where the line begins. Right where the line begins. Okay, you got to keep the conversations whisper, because it's very difficult. Let me tell you from experience. I know it's difficult for a lot of the boys and girls to be quiet, but I'm really going to have to ask a special effort. Okay? You with me? Boy, your lips are you freezing? You are. Okay. Can you hear me over here? This is the best I can do for you, okay? Good morning, everyone. My name is Walt McDonald, and I'm the gentleman, along with other members of the Go Patrol team, that tell your mothers and fathers where to go in the morning on the roadway. Okay, how many boys and girls here drive a car? Let's see a show of hands. Teachers, take a note, would you please? You boys and girls drive a car? Okay. Ask a stupid question and you get a stupid reply. Okay, fine, very good. Every time we do a program, we always take two of my cohorts who make it very important for me to work every single day. You see both of them right to the rear. The officer is with the Philadelphia Highway Patrol. His name is Officer Fred, and he'll be coming on momentarily. Raise your hand, Fred. that's Officer Fred, okay? And the gentleman with the mustache and the curly hair is the gentleman that I trained to fly this helicopter. Just a few hours of experience. We've only made 2 special landings. This is one we just accomplished a little while ago. Do you see us floating along the grass? He's got to learn to stop the ship when we land, okay? His name is Pilot Mark Ciccone. All of us have a part of our program. I'd like to take a radio station survey. How many boys and girls here hear me on the radio? Okay, fine. All right, can you hear me over there? All right, let me see a show of hands on the number of boys and girls. Now put your hands down yet. You're too soon, all right? What boys and girls, or how many boys and girls listen to WIP? How come you don't have a readings book? What is this? All right, how many boys and girls listen to WPEN? All right, how about WWDB-FM, the talk station? Teachers, are you taking note of these kids? These are your studious ones, all right? How about who listens to WCAU-AM? AM. All right, here we go. This is the one that usually gets the biggest hands. How many boys and girls listen to WCAU-FM 98? Okay, fine. How about listens to WIOQ? WIOQ. How about WUSL 99 FM? How many boys and girls here are country music fans? WFIL. Where are your horses, okay? I have a special note from the principal. Okay, are you paying attention? Now, if I told you, would you believe me if I told you the principal said because you're all nice boys and girls, now would you believe me if I told you you could have off tomorrow? No, you can't do that. You know, I did that once before at a Catholic school, just joking, and the next day, 10 students did not show up. Boy, did I get in trouble. That's a joke. Do not believe me. What is behind me? What is that instrument called behind me? Hold on just a second. Helicopter. I'm one of about 9 people every single day that put the Go Patrol on the radio. It is a team effort, and our success has been based upon team effort all the way. Now, a very important part of the Go Patrol team is our flying traffic officer, who, when he flies in this ship, acts almost as a flying police car in the environs of Philadelphia, not outside. So Officer Fred has the power, if he sees any car speeding, a motorcyclist taking a shoulder, or a motorist backing up on an on-ramp, which is not legal, he can authorize police cars to go get that guy, and once he sees that person from the air, they can't get away. Let's hear it for Officer Fred.
Thank you all. I guess you're all wondering why I'm in the helicopter and not in a police helicopter. Well, the fact is that the city of Philadelphia, the great city of Philadelphia, does not have a helicopter. And probably the reason that we don't have one is that Atlantic Richfield's been good enough to allow us, the police department, to fly along with them for the last 20 years. And I'm one of 3 police officers before me that has done this. I've been doing this for the last 7 years. And all 3 of the police officers that had the job that I had before me are all out on disability pensions because of helicopter crashes. But I'm not gonna follow that road. I've got 2 more years to go in the police department. And aside from my contemporaries that had this job before me, none of them ever wanted to learn to fly the helicopter. And I don't know why, because we're up there 20 hours a week. And I took it upon myself to learn to fly this helicopter, and now I'm a licensed commercial helicopter pilot, so that if we do crash, we're going to know why we crashed. We've used this helicopter behind us to catch some bank robbers on a roof back in Center City a couple of years ago. It snowed, and they held up a bank, and the dummies ran up on the roof, and we followed their tracks, and they hid behind a chimney, and Lo and behold, the helicopter hovered overhead, and there they were. And today they're in jail because of this helicopter that you see behind us. We also use the helicopter aside from what Walt does. He's been good enough to allow us to use it for police work. And I am the eyes and ears of the Philadelphia Police Department in that I can tell all the police cars on both expressways that we have, the Delaware Expressway and the Schuylkill Expressway, exactly what's going on. And if there is an accident, we can be there before them and help them out. We've also used this helicopter for many rescues. Probably the one that some of you may remember was back in June of '81 when a pilot ditched his small plane in the Delaware River near the airport. And we landed this helicopter that you see behind us in the water. I jumped out and we saved the man, and he's alive today because this helicopter was there at the time. The helicopter that you see behind us is 5 years old. Before that, we used a Jet Ranger that was similar to this, and we crashed it back in 1977 when Walt first came on board. He was with us for a little more than a couple months, and he and I were just getting along and just getting to know each other when we had a fuel pump fail in the helicopter, and the helicopter was over the Schuylkill River near the zoo, if any of you are familiar with that area. And there was only one place to go when we were going down, and we were going to go in the water, because we knew that we could put the helicopter in the water and probably walk away from it. We figured the heck with the helicopter, at least we're going to have our lives to save. But what we didn't know is that a certain gentleman who's hiding behind a helicopter didn't know how to swim. So we had to land on the bank of the East River Drive, and thank God we all walked away from it, and I think he knows how to swim today, I'm not sure. Does anybody have any questions before we go on to the main part of our program? Okay, now we're going to introduce you to the pilot of the helicopter, Mark Ciccone, and as Walt said, this is only his second landing. So when we take off, you got to watch it, because he's really, really skittish about it. He's going to talk to you on what the helicopter does and why it flies. And if anybody wants to tell him how it flies, he'll be glad to listen to you. Mark, going to come on over?
Did you mention, Fred, that you're also a helicopter pilot? Fred is also a commercial helicopter pilot, and not a very good one, but he does have the license. So if I were to become disabled at the controls, Fred is, as you can see, maybe you can understand. There's 2 sets of controls in there. Believe me. And sometimes I read the newspaper and Fred flies for a while and gives me a rest. Because we're up 2 and a evening. Can get a little tiring. This is a Bell Jet Ranger helicopter, and it goes 140 miles an hour. Is that funny? That door going? It weighs about 3,000 pounds without us inside it, 3,200 pounds. And it operates on kerosene. That's jet fuel. Anybody have kerosene heaters at home? Okay, it's just about the same as that. You know, that funny smell? Yeah, we get that all the time. It burns 25 gallons of kerosene in an hour. When new, this helicopter, anybody like to guess what this helicopter might cost when we buy it?
You will.
Okay, right here. 20,000. Well, stop the guessing, but this helicopter costs $360,000 to buy new. And it cost Atlantic Richfield, who pays the bills, approximately $300 an hour to fly it. Quite expensive. The engine alone costs about $70,000 to replace. Now, you'll look on top of the helicopter. Does anybody know what those set of blades do? Yes, sir. They go around and they make you fly. He's absolutely right, actually. That is the wing. You know how airplanes have wings that make them fly? Well, this is a rotary wing aircraft. How about the little tail rotor in the back? Yes. For steering, very good. It helps you steer on the ground, in the air, and keeps the helicopter going straight. If you did not have that little rotor, does anybody know what would happen? Oh, yeah, I guess eventually you would. You'd start spinning around in circles. That's right. That keeps the helicopter going in a straight line. Anybody have any questions about the helicopter or my job? Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Yes, sir, the striped shirt. Yeah, I'm with you. You've got a striped shirt on. Why does it have Arco Go Patrol? Because they're the sponsor of the service. They're the people who pay the bills. And it's good advertising for the Arco oil company. Everybody can see it. Yes, ma'am. What do you have to do when you have to go to the bathroom? That's the second school in a row we've been asked that. You hold on. That's on. Until you land. And oftentimes when we land, the 3-door goes and everybody remembers. Very low. Okay, that's a good question. He wants to know how the helicopter floats on the water if we have to land in the water. I forgot to mention that these are emergency floats here. And if I press a little button inside the helicopter, they will expand to about 10 times that size into great big floats. There's tanks filled with nitrogen right here. And I push the button inside, they'll fill up and we can land in the water. That's what they did when they saved the pilot who crash landed in the Delaware last year. They landed right next to him and he jumped in the helicopter. Yes. Generally, you fly with the nose into the wind cocked a little bit, so all airplanes, even a great big 747, flies a little crooked, you just don't realize it. Say again? We can see, we fly off to an angle, and they look out the windows, the side windows. Okay, one more. Yes, ma'am. If there was too many people, we probably couldn't get off the ground. It would just sit there and go rumble, 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 rumble. It wouldn't get up in the air. I can tell just by how much power it needs to pick it up, whether it's too heavy or not. Walter, do you want to say anything about television?
How many here, obviously everybody looks at television. Does anybody look at Live at 5 on Channel 10? All right, there are some people who do look at Channel 10. If you look inside the ship, the people in front of the boys and girls and the teachers in front can see the camera. That's the camera that we use for the Live at 5 Channel 10 reports. And the long white antenna under the helicopter. Do you see it underneath the real thin antenna? That is the microwave antenna. That sends back a live color picture from that camera into Channel 10 studios, and that's what we use to send the picture back, and we get cues to go on the air. I have a question. And see if you can answer this, okay? What kind of fuel do you think we burn in this helicopter? Now, women, I can't give you any hints at all, so don't look on the side of the helicopter, all right? You can't look on the side. I have you under my power. Yes? No, with the name of the fuel, the company name, you're correct, yes. Oh, wait. You can't look at the side now, boys and girls. No cheating. What'd he say? Arco. Guess what? No. We burn Texaco. Don't say that. Why? Because on the East Coast, Atlantic Richfield does not make jet fuel. On the West Coast they do, but here in Philadelphia, or outside Philadelphia at an international airport, we do burn Texaco fuel, which is no big deal. Does anybody have any questions before we wind our program up so you can all get back into a warm classroom? You don't want to go back into a classroom, right? You know something? When we did a school a couple months ago, the kids came out. Boy, they were energetic. This will be for the teachers, and they said, "Mr. McDonald, we certainly appreciate you coming to our school. We enjoyed you, but better yet, we got out of math class." we have the principal. Where is your principal? Has she gone for the day? She couldn't take it anymore? Oh, here she comes right now. On behalf of the entire Go Patrol team, we thank you very much for the invitation, and we'll see you and listen to us on the radio.
Boys and girls, I'd like Mrs. Lawley to come out because Mrs. Lawley met Mr. McDonald last fall at a conference, and Mrs. Lawley's chairman of our Spirit Week. And because of her efforts, we were able to get Mr. McDonald out here today. I want to thank you very, very much for celebrating Spirit Week with us at Talk High School. And thank you to Fred and Mark, too.
Okay, what we have to ask the teachers once again is if we can move the boys and girls back to the asphalt, and we'll be taking off momentarily. Now just go very slowly. Over. Thank you very much.
What's up? The guy from your TV.
Thanks a lot. See you later. We got a real problem. Then we have to hover right over the water as best we can to make the save.
Come on, we gotta go. We're not that way. Where we at? Is this going to be on cable?
Yeah, we'll get a shot of you taking off. Hold him down because as soon as the thing begins to take off, it'll blow him down. That's right. I have extra students in case we lose him. Take care. My pleasure. Nice meeting you.